But look, all I'm saying is it's about that time now. Let's go ahead and jump in here. So, welcome everybody. This is the 12th episode? Yes, the 12th episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I am your host, Mighty Vicious, and I'm kind of looking like a non-playable character right now. Hold on, let me get a little light in there. There we go. You can pick me now. You can pick me. I'm your host, Mighty Vicious, and I'm here with my co-host, who also, for some reason, see, this is all settings. This is all settings. Here we go. It's already rough, and I told y'all this is gonna happen. Anyway, point is, I'm your host, Mighty Vicious. I'm here with my co-host, Jamie James, the Emperor, and also our special guest for this week, which is InsaneAlphaBeta. And how's everybody feeling this week? How's everybody doing? Yeah? Well, considering settings, I gotcha. So, look, let's go ahead and start off with Alpha. If you'll go ahead and tell the people who you are, what you've been working on, what dreams means to you, and everything else under the sun, let's get started.
Better played for this.
Actually, before we actually get going on that, I want you to start over. I need a little more excitement, a little more Red Bull. But I need you to hit. But I also need you to hit a little Barry White in there. I need you to put that bass in your voice. Let them know you're serious. All right, here we go.
I could use the Isleth voice to do that.
I don't know what that voice is, but if you come out here sounding pedo, I'm gonna be mad at you.
Does this sound like pedo to you?
Yes. Yeah, yes. You have already ravaged at least 10 booty holes. I'm just saying. It's pretty rough. But anyway, continue. Here we go. InsaneAlphaBeta, tell the people who you are.
Well, I'm InsaneAlphaBeta.
Good job.
The Vengeful Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. But I'm also making a show next year.
All right. A show that's going to be on Dreams, I suspect.
On Dreams and on YouTube. It'll be on both.
Nice. Cross-platforming. I like it. Any details you can give us on that, other than just that you're working on it?
I imagine I'll probably mention some things about it. After all, that shows the reason I got Dreams in the first place.
All right.
So basically, 6 years ago, which feels like forever ago, I was in a text-based RP with two other people. There was a few others, but it was mainly two.
Mm-hmm.
And what started off as us just screwing around, having fun, we actually started to tell some stories there. We were just messing around, and then it got more serious over time, and that RP never ended. We're still doing it. We not only did seasons, but we did stories alongside those seasons. And I think it was earlier this month or a few weeks ago, which is the same thing, we finished the 16th season. And we did the first 7 in that same year, 2014, and ever since then, I wanted to bring it to life as a show. Now, granted, I would have to completely rewrite it because the original seasons were not very good because we were just messing around. But
laying the groundwork.
Yeah, basically. There were still a lot of essential moments that ended up being important later on. So I'm going to be taking those older seasons and rewriting them to create a show with it.
I love it. I love the
idea.
idea.
Over the last 6 years, I've gone down so many roads to try and make this thing happen. Nothing but false starts, dead ends. I tried doing it myself. I tried finding a team, creating a team, making it with programs like Blender and all that. Nothing worked. There was one method I was going to go down, which I'm going to save for a later time because that's for a behind-the-scenes thing. But that route had so many uncertainties, it just wasn't viable. There was just no point in it. It was not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I continued looking for ways to try and make this thing happen. And Jamie or James, I'm still not sure which one to call you, but I'll just call you Jamie or James, whichever you prefer.
Either's good with me.
You're going to love this if I recall what you said from previous episodes. I was so desperate to try and even have a chance of making this thing work, I looked at Project Spark again.
All right.
Now, here's the funny thing. You could probably come up with so many reasons why that wouldn't work. The draw distance was the first thing to fail. That was what killed it before anything else could.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing I did go to Project Spark, because by going to Project Spark, I went to Lady Lex's Spark School site she made ages ago, and it said that she moved on to a little game called Dreams. And I'd actually seen Dreams once before. The first thing I ever saw of Dreams was this puppet with an afro and rainbow underwear. It was this weird animation.
Okay.
And it was like the first thing.
I've seen that.
You see that? That was the first thing I ever saw of Dreams. And when I saw what, and I looked into it, and I'm like, okay, so this is a thing. It's on PlayStation, which I didn't have at the time. And I was looking at it, and I was seeing what people like Robo were making, which is just mind-bendingly amazing stuff. And I looked at Disarmed was also making beautiful stuff. Martin, who now works in Media Molecule.
Yeah.
I saw all the things, and I'm like, this is it. This is absolutely how I'm going to make this show happen. It was funny, I was talking to Acert and some people in chat, and they're like, you should have a plan B. And I'm like, boy, this ain't plan B. This is like plan C. If I'm going to make the show happen, it's happening with Dreams.
Yeah, I can back you up on that. This sounds like my journey.
Yeah. Like, this is plan C here. And so, of course, I didn't have the money for a PS4 or Dreams, so I basically had no hope of getting it. But in a twisted kind of way, luckily for me, a little pandemic happened, and we got stimulus checks. And it's because of this PS4 and Dreams. That is the only reason I was able to get a PS4 and Dreams.
Wow.
The only reason. That'll be the only reason I get a PS5 as well. Round.
Indeed. So
yeah, that's how we got Dreams.
You had said that you had spoken to a lot of people before making this, like not necessarily to make Vengeful Eyes or get into Dreams, but to tell you what you needed to learn in order to pull it off. And you said that Acert was one of the people that was open about talking with you about this.
No, I didn't say that. It's just I was telling them in chat about the show that I wanted to make.
Okay.
Question was that I should probably A, get a team, and B, I should have a plan B in case it fails. So did they know it wasn't plan B?
Okay. Okay, I got you. So with that being the case, I was going to hold this off for a topic for later, but I guess I'll get into it now. Someone brought up to me earlier today that they felt that the learning curve for Dreams was a lot steeper than I had originally thought. Like, this person is really good at Dreams, pulls off some amazing stuff. And to hear them say that the learning curve is difficult made me think that I had this pegged all wrong. And maybe it was because of, I've tried other things or whatever. But yeah, like, how do you feel being that you came in as a, I guess you did have access to other things you tried first, but do you feel
I've had a lot of different experiences. Sorry to cut you off if I did.
No.
I've had so many different experiences with various games. It's kind of one of the advantages I have going into this. Like, I remember playing tons of Halo and messing around making cute little scenes with Forge and Theater mode. I remember playing games like Trials Evolution, which had map editors that were so crazy, you could literally make your own game inside the game, which people did. Like, it's a game, if you don't know about Trials, it's a racing kind of game where you can lean forwards and backwards, and you can only go forwards and backwards.
I love
the map
it.
editor was so ridiculous and crazy.
Trials raged me so many times.
Not me.
Oh, it's such a great game, though. It's such a great game. But the map editor, you can literally do whatever. You can make your own game with it. And I actually re-downloaded Trials Evolution to re-look at that stuff, and it has its own logic system, which is way more complicated than Dreams is. Way more complicated. I would say that Dreams is. I disagree. It's really streamlined when you get down and work with it. It is way easier than Trials. I think it's easier than Project Spark was. So yeah, I think it's definitely streamlined to me.
I would say there's definitely a learning curve with Dreams, as there is with any sort of creational tool. And I also think it's down to the person as well. You've got to be the type of person that is willing to want to learn. If you don't have that sense of I'm going to figure this out no matter what, then you're not going to get very far. Because the further you go into Dreams, although on the face of it, it's very simplified, but once you start to delve into Dreams and start using all the complicated logic and all the different methods for sculpting and animating, that's when you start to get into the intricacies of Dreams. And if you're not prepared for that, then you're not going to go very far. So I think Dreams as itself has been made as simple as it can be, because at the end of the day, you can do anything with Dreams, and you can only make that so simple. So I think the majority of it is down to the person as opposed to the software itself.
See,
yeah,
and that's what. Let me. I'm gonna ask chat. Can I say who this person was that I was speaking about? I want to ask chat before I throw it out there. But
I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing that they think it's not streamlined.
It's not a bad thing, but I don't. I was brought up that you don't put another person's name in your mouth unless they want you to do that. Okay, so all I'm saying, look, like I said, I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but it's the fact. There we go. So it is Spicy Waffles who brought this up to me. Who, if you've seen his stuff, he has the work ethic. He definitely has the work ethic. He is out here to learn Dreams. I think more so than anybody I've met so far. That wasn't just already a natural when they jumped on the sticks back when Media Molecule was in beta. So I have no doubt about the work ethic or the willingness to learn. So to hear from him that the learning curve is steep, when he has those things that you've already talked about as, well, if a person doesn't have these, then yeah, it'll probably be hard to jump in. He has them. And he found the curve steep. So
what part of it?
Yeah, if you do want to elaborate, Spicy, because I'm sure you're probably trying to do this while you're at work. but
was steep learning curve part.
Because I'm going to tell you, the only things that were steep for me were things that are my fault. Like I was so eager to get into Dreams that when I got it, I did like 3. Well, I did the original 7 tutorials, like the main getting started, and then I jumped directly into making a short film. And everything else I picked up along the way, which felt easier for me because that's how I've always been. Like, that's how I learn. I learn by doing. Whereas if I'm sitting here waiting for, now move the square to blah, 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 and press L1. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm dying. This is so slow. I'm bored. Like, I just immediately space out. And then, like, I found out that I actually went back through the original 7 tutorials because I had gone ahead of them, and it didn't count it because I was like, well, I know how to do that, so I'll do this. And I just did it and didn't go along with the steps, so it didn't count that I completed them. That's how.
You done goof?
Yeah. So I went back through, did it in line, and whatever. But Spicy says trying to get the look like it's not from Dreams and getting used to the nuances.
I can see where he's coming from with that, with the whole trying to make it look like it's not from Dreams. But that's sort of playing with the effects of the engine more than learning how to create stuff in Dreams. That's more of a quite a specific thing.
Do you know how I beat that look? And I know this sounds stupid because it's me, but do you know? But do you know how I beat that look? I beat that look by starting with a puppet and then not using the puppet. Like actually
What does that
making
even mean?
like you start with the puppet so that you have the separation of like the legs, arms, head, blah blah blah. But I actually
Okay.
sculpted each piece outside of the puppet and then put it onto the puppet so that I could get the exact shapes and look that I wanted to, better. Jammy's seen these, but like it's about 50 times better than what I was doing while trying to work on the puppet. And so it's like, I honestly think that I guess that would be the nuance that he's talking about, where it's like, it's something so simple, but you automatically think like, well, why don't I just build it on the puppet? For some reason, building it on the puppet doesn't work. Like, not like that. It always has that Dreams look. So you almost have to build like chest, upper arm, lower arm, like, upper leg, lower leg, pelvic. You have to build all that like on your own off to the side and then use the old school, at least for me. This worked for me. And like I said, it sounds stupid because I'm the one saying it. But if it's but it worked for me to literally make it and then cut it up and put it on the thing. Like it took care of most of the seams. It made it so it didn't have that fuzzy look that people talk about in Dreams. It just made everything look clean. And
but that characters aside, though, I mean, the thing that annoys me most with the whole Dreams look is, let's just say someone's built a house in a scene, right? And they've built it out of bricks. They've added like that brick look to it, so it looks like a brick wall. If you walk up to that wall, it's gonna look fuzzy.
I mean, yeah, but if you walk up to a wall in like any normal game, it's going to be heavily pixelated.
No, but I know that, but like, I don't know, everything about Dreams just has a very fuzzy layer to it, and there is a way of getting rid of it, because I've seen creators do it. I've seen them get rid of this texturing look and add their own textures to things, and it looks so much better. But for the general,
so many ways.
I don't know, it just seems like most people just tend to just go with the actual standard and just go, well, it is what it is. But then everything starts to look the same.
Yeah.
So I can see with Spicy how that's an issue, is trying to make it not look like Dreams. I think it is that fuzzy issue, but that's just the way that Dreams is built. So you have to do workarounds to get around it.
Well, I mean, Martin can do it. No, I'm just playing. And if Martin can do it, we can do. No, not true at all. No.
He's a certified wizard.
Oh, I already said it. Oh, I already said it. Like I've worked. Well, I did a voiceover for him for one of his like Superman painting thing that he did, or just short animation, and yeah, because it blew my mind, and I said it then. Like Martin Nebelong is the final boss of Dreams, and I truly believe it. Like it's not that he's the only one, huh? What'd you say?
I think Bad Robo wants to talk to you right about now.
Yeah.
No, and see, that's the thing. Like I tried to get Robo on.
That.
Let me see. Yeah, he doesn't. He is not confident in his English enough to come onto the show, and I told him I'll find a translator. So like I am trying.
I'd still give it a 5 out of 5 performance.
Yeah, so
I mean, his creations though are just, I mean, they're absolutely mind-boggling. I'm not sure how he's going to create a game, because he keeps mentioning that these scenes are for an upcoming game that he's going to release, but I'm not sure exactly what the gameplay is going to be, because these scenes are completely maxed out with just the visuals alone. So I'm really intrigued to see what it is that he's actually doing once he compiles all this together with gameplay elements.
We already know what he's doing. He's going to blow your mind. That's it. So just stop worrying about it. Let him be Martin and continue doing what he's doing. But anyway, so look, but Robo, like I told him I really want to talk to him, because I can't even begin to understand how he creates what he creates. Like, I don't understand the difference. Like, y'all keep saying, like, the Dreams look. Well, he obviously has blown that out of the water.
Yeah.
So
Gone.
and trying to understand that separation between where he is and where other people are complaining that they can't get away from the dreams look. I'm like, it can't be that vast. Like, it just can't be as vast as it looks. And so, like, I really want to pick his brain, but as well,
I feel like it's like an inner secret. Once you know, it's just so. I reckon it's just so easy to implement into everything. Once you know the formula for it.
Yeah, as with everything. Honestly, it's just like, yeah, there is a secret, and some people know it, and other people are trying to achieve it, which I think is a good dynamic. It enforces the community to grow. So, I mean, yeah, seeing things like that, and yeah,
like
it helps us all.
What Eddie just said in chat is quite interesting because Bad Robo actually released a video on Twitter that I saw earlier this week of him actually opening his scenes within the Dreams editor so that you could see that it was actually created within Dreams.
Oh yeah, to quiet the haters.
Because there were so many people that just didn't believe that it was made in Dreams, and they were saying, "Oh, all you've done is put a Made in Dreams watermark in the bottom corner." So, like, you know, I've seen so many of it. So many people just didn't believe that it was made in Dreams because it's so realistic. You're
a fraud.
So, yeah, he put out that video, and it just shut everyone up. They're just like, "Wow, he actually has made it in Dreams," and it's so cool to see that he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I did do it in Dreams."
Yeah,
you know, here's the video.
Yeah, and I think on one of them he had like 2% gameplay left, or something. it was something like really small amount that you couldn't even see.
If he added one more leaf, that was it.
Yeah, one more leaf, the whole shit was broken. No, but yeah, it's just like, I think with Martin, I think one of the reasons he's not more involved in the community outside of being its champion, or one of its champions, I should say, that is just because he's working on things outside of where we are. Like, he is above us. Like, for him to be working, for him to be working on a previs film with John Malkovich, you know, you became part of Media Molecule, and now you're working on things that are outside of gaming. And it's like, you know, you just gotta. It's just where he is. So, like, even I think he's done enough. He's done enough to for every meme that's out there. He's taken all the sins, and now he's just elevated above all of us. But anyway, let's get back to where we got sidetracked. But I loved it.
Worth it though. Worth it.
Okay, so go ahead.
So obviously we have InsaneAlphaBeta on the show, and it wouldn't be a guest on the show if we didn't talk about your game, which is the Vengeful Eye.
Upcoming game.
which you said you were terrified of being on the podcast now because of my statements last week about horror films and horror as a genre. So I don't know. Tell me how you feel.
Well, I had a good how do I feel? I feel great at the moment, thankfully. I'm not terrified anymore, but I want you to know I had a really great reason for making my game. So Project Genesis was hosting this horror jam, and in the beginning, I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know if I want to participate in that. Then the prize pool became $700, and I said, you know what? Maybe I will participate. 1 month to go. And so I decided to.
So how long did it take you to make the Vengeful Eyes?
In total, I would say just over a month.
Wow. Okay, that's good going. Really good going for the time you made it in.
Thank you.
Now, I must say, I'm not a fan of horror games. I'm not a fan.
Good start.
We're winning.
No, I'm not a fan of horror in general. But I did obviously give your game a go for the purposes of the podcast. And the first thing that instantly struck me with it is this was clearly influenced by Five Nights at Freddy's, was it not?
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't the slightest. No, Well, it was inspired in a few different ways. You could probably guess which ways.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
also-
are you a big fan of the series, or like, you know, what inspired you to take the route that you did with Vengeful Eyes?
Well, I am a fan of the series. It has like ridiculous amount of lore in it, which I find really interesting. And I knew the new game was coming out this year. It's still a Security Breach, and that one's going to be in a mall. So I thought, hey, you know what? I'll make a mall. And I kind of liked the idea of having it be night, so I went that route too. But I didn't want the gameplay to be the same. But I did like how in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the key in that game is to go up to the door when you're in your room because you're the crying child, and you go up to the door, you open it, it's pitch black, and you got two options. You can either listen for the breathing. Actually, you could shut the door or turn on the light. And if you hear breathing, you shut the door. And I kind of like the idea of there's something in the dark that you can't see what's there, but you know something's there, and you have to like avoid it. And also, in Sister Location, this was the big one. When you're in Ballora Gallery and you're crawling through, you can only see a few feet in front of you, and Ballora's in there, and you have to listen for her music. And when she gets near, you have to stop, and you have to wait for her to pass, and then you keep going. So you can kind of see where the main gameplay came in there, and obviously the little 8-bit mini games I put in between nights for lore stuff. There's also some PT influence on night 3 if you caught that.
I didn't catch that. After I got caught by the Vengeful Eyes, I stopped playing.
Wisely.
I'm just gonna say, like, I played it, but I only played through basically the first section of the game, and I did it because I'm just not the right person. I'm not the right person to play that game because Jamie can tell you, I've talked ad nauseum like about horror and my things about horror, and most of the time I can't clear those biases to go forward. Like, it has to be like one. If it's like I don't want to sound like I'm bashing your game, because I'm not. No. Because the thing is, especially making it within a month, you pulled off some genius shit. Okay, just to be straight up. I really also like that you had the soundtrack set aside.
Yep.
So that people could listen to the soundtrack, and it's beautifully done. Bravo.
Thank you.
And so I want to get out the good things, because I'm not going to go in and say anything in your game specifically was bad, because I don't do games, not until recently. and so I don't really hold the ground to judge anyone, especially in a genre that I'm already biased towards. But like the simple things that you come to expect from horror immediately turn me off. Like, the moment I'm alone in a dark place, it just takes me back to that moment of play. Like, for me, like, it takes me back to that moment of playing like Resident Evil. Now, Resident Evil 1 I thought was good, other than the controls were non-intuitive on purpose. But after that, I kind of rolled my eyes at everything. Same with Silent Hill, where, it's like the moment you're in this place where it's like, oh, it's this super elite cop that knows zombies exist, but he shows up with 1.5 bullets for some reason. and he has to make it through this whole city with nothing. I'm like, this just, it's not really scary to me. It's just like, that sucks. Or Silent Hill, where it's like, oh, I'm in this town that doesn't exist and there's blood splattered on all the walls. Oh, but my dead wife might be here. Bruh, she's dead. Go get you an escort or something. Like, what is the problem? Why are you here? And it's like, if something doesn't kill you around the corner of that hallway that's literally been like someone with a slip and slide of blood has just flown through the hallway. Like, it's like, if something isn't going to kill you on the other side of that door, then it's, it wouldn't hold up. to me. So as you can tell, I have a lot of things where it's just like the normal niches of horror just make me roll my eyes, where it shouldn't, but it also lets me know, as I often say things, compare them to movies, because that's the thing I'm mostly versed in. It's like there's something there for everybody, and not everything is for you, and therefore you don't really have the right to speak about them or judge them, because you were never going to be there in the first place. Like, you weren't going to do it without someone forcing you to. So, all I would say is, what I did play, I did like it. Knowing that you did it in a month and some change is awesome. Your soundtrack is beautiful, and yeah, like, there were things I liked the lighting, and I understand it from a practical sense as far as the time limit, but also why it wasn't done in another way, because no one's gonna make a fully fleshed out, like, mall or abandoned mall. And if you turn the lights on, it's just gonna look too plain because of time restrictions.
That I did make a whole mall, and once you actually beat the final night, you unlock free roam, and I turn the lights on, so you get to see what the whole thing looks like. And also, one of the reasons I made it dark was that if I had it lit up at all, that would defeat the purpose of the game, because the whole point of the game is Isolith is in there, he's hunting you, and you have to listen for his footsteps, and when he's, assuming you're not standing in the open, when he's near, you stop moving and let him pass, which ends up being terrifying, and then you can continue moving. So there was a gameplay reason why it had to be dark, because if you could see all around you, there's no point to the game. You could see him from a mile away. You could just easily avoid him.
Yeah. I mean, can you throw fistikins though? Can you beat his ass? No.
I mean, there's a character that may do that if you get to find that thing.
Hey, I'll go back and try again. But I'm already saying, like, that's the thing, is I played it. I was like, okay, this isn't for me. But I do want to not throw my usual shade. Not because you can't take it, but because I didn't finish, and I need to. And also, I need to get over my biases. So to do that. So, that's all I'm saying. But I like what I saw.
Night 3, I had a lot of fun with, because it's when the mind games start to come in. And I don't know if you ended up playing PT, but since I brought that up, there's a really fun moment that I just absolutely love doing, where it's like 4 a.m. and you're wandering, and then out of nowhere, I made it so it seemed like he's whispering in your ear, and he just says, "Look behind you." And watching people get to that part and it terrifying them just made me so happy. Like, it worked.
I'll tell you what I found quite interesting. I was playing it, and I had a text on my phone, so I just stopped. I stopped playing, dropped the controller, and I was replying to this text message, and then the screen started to get all shaky and a bit glitchy. And I was like, "Oh, something's happening." So I continued to stay still, and then this little girl started talking, scared the absolute crap out of me.
Lol.
And then all of a sudden, the monster. What was the monster called again? I forget the name of it. Sorry?
Isolith.
Oh, Isolith just comes out and just scares the absolute crap right out of me. I click the PlayStation button, kill dreams, turn off the TV. That's me done. It was a really good feature. Like, don't stand still because it will find you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really nice feature.
It's not even standing still. It's not hiding, because the song she sings is "Where are you hiding?" It's an anti-hiding system to stop you from hiding like a baby, like Acer.
Ooh-wee. Shots fired.
Very early in the game, I still remember this. I'm not going to forget this. In a very early version of the game, before I put in like barriers and stuff, there was a little corner that I didn't think about, and he went to that little corner and he stood there the entire night. through the whole game and just went to his corner.
That sounds like good gameplay testing to me.
I mean, I was already going to eventually add berries, but it made me. I had the idea of adding an ancient mode at one point where James just comes on the intercom and he's just like, "Well, hey, what are you, little guy? Are you scared?" And Iceland's just going to be a plushie and he's going to squeak every time he comes in. He's like, "You want to be my friend?"
Wow.
And the final cutscene's just you, Iceland, and Acer just walking out of the cans. I didn't go that route, but I had the idea for a few days now.
The only thing I found a little bit stressful, apart from being chased by a demon thing with bright eyes in your game, was I found it quite difficult to find my bearings of where I was. The lighting is, I mean, I can understand why the lighting is the way it is, but I felt like I needed like a flashlight that was a bit brighter than the light that was emitting around the screen, so that I could figure out where I was. Because I remember when the game starts, it tells me to go to like a cafe or a coffee shop of some sort.
You find a newspaper in Bonnie's Babar, which Bonnie is also
Yes.
So I thought, okay, right, I'll go there and find that. And I found it so difficult to find my way around because it was so dark and everything seemed so familiar. Like, you know, like especially on the floor and stuff. I just found it very difficult, and I never ended up actually finding the Babar place.
Man.
I think it would really be beneficial to have like a flashlight just so that you can see a bit better, that's a bit brighter, so you can see where you've been and what's around you.
It actually did used to be brighter, but then again, same issue. You would end up seeing Isleth before you even hear his footsteps.
Yeah.
It's actually funny you say that because I encountered there were so many people who, like you, had a lot of trouble navigating the ball. Some people found it right away.
Yeah, so I suppose
some people had no problem roaming around. Some people did. It was different for everyone, it seemed.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I got glasses for a reason, and so I was out there roaming around, and I found it. And at first, my thought was, I feel like this is taking longer than it should. But then when I actually found it, I was like, you know what? That wasn't actually bad. Like it felt like it before I found it, but then once I found it, one of these reasons is because I walked by it like twice. Like, I walked by it, I was like, "Yo, it's dark in here. Like, what's going on? We need to get out first and foremost." And so, yeah, I walked by it twice. I was like, you know what? If I was paying more attention, I probably would have found it quicker, and it wouldn't have been a problem. But
there actually wasn't objectives in the beginning of the game. Mine wasn't going to have any objectives because your main focus should be surviving. But people kept saying there should be an objective of some kind. I'm like, oh, fine, okay, I'll do it. And I added some objectives. I couldn't do anything crazy with it because there's only so much. Well, I can only do so much. The first night's finding a newspaper. The second night's finding food, which you should be able to do if you found the bar because there's a store right by it. The next one's going back to the bar to get drinks. And then the fourth night, because I couldn't think of anything else, is just survive.
Well, I mean, that is the main purpose, is don't die.
Yeah.
Don't get caught.
Don't die.
Well, look. I think.
We're looking.
What happened?
I said we're looking.
Okay. So let's move away. And I want to ask you on this horror thing again. I want to ask you, what is the scariest game you have played on Dreams?
On Dreams?
Yeah, like what's one that you have played on Dreams that you were like, "Oh, Jesus." Like, and I asked this because, I mean, we found one and it was because of the Halloween jam, but I want to see what you bring up so that I can add that to the, to the archive and be like, okay, well, I got to go play this so that I can, evolve. So what's one that you've played?
It's funny you say that because I don't really play that many horror games in Dreams. Or horror games in general.
All I do is make them.
I just made one.
Mm.
I don't know what I would say is the scariest. I played a couple, but none of them really. You know, the funniest thing, the scariest as far as horror games went was actually with my own game because I was testing it and then trying to get Islet's. It gets great. I was testing the gameplay of Islet, trying to make sure he was moving correctly, and this was really early on, and I had thought I turned him off. I was wrong. I go upstairs, I go to the bar where I was testing it, and before I realize that, oh no, he's right there, it's too late, I've ran while I'm near him, and I get jump scared, I nearly jumped out of my chair. It scared me so bad.
Well, you know you've done well when your own creation makes you shit yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's
literally what happened.
That's the best. That's the best advertisement I can think of. For it's like, yo, I was making this game. This game scared me. Okay.
I mean, I think probably the scariest thing would have to be one of the fan games that Five Nights at Freddy's had played that's been made in dreams. And funny thing about that is that Scott Cawthon, who made Five Nights at Freddy's, is actually okay with fan games. So all the fan games are totally okay to be in dreams. That's good. But it'd probably have to one of the various fan games that probably scared me the most, if any.
Okay. All right. Add it in. And
now, one more thing. Speaking of the Halloween jam, I went ahead and submitted Vengeful Eyes for that. So there's nothing against using previous creations, and I did technically make it for a jam anyway.
How does that make you? How does that make you feel? No.
How does that make me feel? My game has been played by not many people. I'm a little desperate.
Well, I mean, I did look at your scoreboard, and you have a lot of names that are very recognizable, and I feel like you shouldn't undercut. I would say quality over quantity for this. Is the best way to look at it, because a lot of people
also,
who mean a lot.
Said, play this? They're like, sure. Rather than them just finding it on their own, I probably went to most of those names you saw and were like, hey, you want to play it?
Hey guy, I got this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a look.
What are you buying? So let's go to you now. What was one of the topics? Because you came into our Discord just really on top of it. Just like, guys, I can't wait to be on the show. I want to talk to you about stuff you've talked about. And then you said you wanted to bring up the big conversation from this past week on Twitter. So I want to give you the chance to do that, being that we have some people in chat that I'd like to know their opinions on it. So go ahead and lead us into that conversation.
Dang it. Oh, it's going to have to wait. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just give me a second here.
All right. So I guess what I'm going to say then is we're going to sneak in this little section here, but let's talk about it. It'll be, God, I can't do it. I can't do it because of the settings. You're killing me. You are killing these guys. Let me tell you all about these guys. These guys, in order for my settings to work, as far as like the windows being set up for what you're viewing on the video version, if you see it, sorry for the audio listeners, but I have to get these windows set up every single time we have guests. And to do that, I need people to come in semi-early. But because of this one, because InsaneAlphaBeta, unfortunately, is going to have to leave us. Is going to have to leave us at some point.
But not yet. I'm back.
But not yet. Basically, my settings are going to get real screwed up here later on. But that's why I can't show you what I was going to show you. No, it's fine. It's fine. Life happens, baby. Life happens. Calm down. We're good. So, look, now we're going to go ahead and lead in. Go ahead. Insane Alpha, before you got to go again. Go.
So, I've actually been wanting to talk to you both about this because Dreams PS5, shocking, I know. I think there's a really easy way that they could totally increase the thermo and not split the community at all. Super easy way.
That's interesting. Okay, let's elevate that.
All they have to do is, when it comes to the PS5 version of the game, add a little indicator or a line on the thermos. What is this line, you ask? It would be an indicator of the PS4 thermo limit, so that anyone on PS5 with them making their stuff, they can choose to make their dreams PS4 compatible or not. Suddenly, it's not a media molecule issue anymore. It's a Dreamiverse issue. And it's up to us to make versions of our dreams that are PS4 compatible. Easy.
Easier than you think. I mean,
just make it the community's problem.
Let's be realistic here. If someone is creating a game on PS5, you're going to want to make the absolute most of that firmware limit. I mean, people are overusing the firmware right now on PS4.
Robo.
If we, yeah, Robo. I mean, if we get an increased firmware on PS5 with the addition of being able to cap the firmware so that it will play on both generations, I don't think people are going to go for that. They're just going to be like, you know what? I've been given this extra firmware. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, but I feel like most streamers, the Dreams community is probably one of the nicest communities I've seen. I'm pretty confident most people, for at least a good while, would downgrade their game to make a PS4 compatible version of it.
I mean,
they could release 2 versions.
I told y'all once, I told y'all before on this. As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if they cut the PS4 users off completely, and I'm one of them. I'm just one of those people where I'm like, look, I get it, and I understand why people are afraid of splitting the community, but I feel like even when the time comes, people will upgrade when they want to, even if they want it,
or when they get the money.
Yeah, or when they get the money. Whereas, I'm always for pushing into the future. I'm more pissed off at PlayStation reneging on the next gen is next gen than I am anything else in gaming currently. Because, how they're making certain games, like PS4 versions of them, instead of just pushing those new games into PS5. And so because of that, it's just against what I'm saying even now. But I don't know. I just don't, I don't care. And I guess I guess that's what comes from me not really having any stake or money in it, really. To be fair to them, I'm not thinking of it business wise. I'm just thinking of it as, I want the best, and if I can't get the best right now, I'll get it eventually. And if that keeps me from viewing some stuff, well, hey, it's the same when anything updates. People having this thing, and I know this sounds anti-consumer. But people having this thing where they're like, even when it comes to backwards compatibility, and they're like, hey, I want to be able to play my PS1 games on a PlayStation. I'm like, why? Why? And I feel like if you care that much, you still have a PlayStation 1. If you truly can, then I guess you better get an emulator and a Coke and a smile. I don't care. It's just, and like I said, this is just me. And I know people disagree with me on this, so I'm not lying to myself like I'm the spokesperson for what should happen. But, I get it. But for me, it's just there's a reason that you're upgrading. And the more, and I know they don't want to cut off the huge install base of the PlayStation, but I mean, damn, if they're like, hey, when you get here, we're going to have this for you. I'm just like, cool. But other people are like, but can I have the things from 15 years ago? And it's like, well, if you care that much, you probably already have them. That's truly how I feel about it. And I know that's wrong. And I know that's not how we're supposed to think about it. And it's not thinking consumerly, or consumer friendly. But yeah, I just feel like there is a reason that I want to spend $500. Bad Robo. Bad Robo's here.
Yeah, Bad Robo's here.
Yes. We spent time talking about you. I still want you. Okay, I want you in every way.
I still want
No, I'm just but no,
dreams.
so yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just where I come from. So like I don't care if they make it some way that people like can do it. Look, I'll be fine on PS4. I didn't pre-order PS5. Not that I could have if I wanted to. I'm just not going to be part of that, that rush. And
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be a person that's like, "Oh, I got my PS5, so F y'all." Like that's not what I'm saying. Like I don't have the PS5 and I'm still willing to say that I'm willing to be cut off to a certain extent until I can get it. And you know what? I'll be fine with that because I'm still going to be building in Dreams. It's not like they're going to be like, we're on PS5 now. You don't get to play Dreams anymore. And like, I'll be fine. I'll be
You
good.
get to play with a guy.
Yeah, go back to Little Big Planet. You don't get to play with Dreams. So
That does remind me, though.
Yeah.
Even if at the beginning we don't get a significant boost, even the fact that it'll just load faster, even the fact that there'll be almost no time to loading Dreams or in between scenes, that alone is going to be huge when you think about short films, shows, even games. Being able to go from a cutscene to gameplay in an instant. Being able to like go into a cave and just almost instantly, not too crazy, almost instantly transitioning in there, that alone would be a crazy huge improvement.
You see,
because I remember watching Rabbit and Boy, and there being a bit of a loading time in between certain scenes, and that can kind of break your immersion and be like, well, now I gotta wait for this slow before I can continue to actually enjoy myself watching this piece of content.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure, though, that the speed of the PS5 will actually influence the speed of things loading within Dreams, because surely...
But it's more powerful on every front, isn't it?
Well, no. When you're loading games within Dreams, that's loading off of Media Molecule servers, is it not? Because you don't have that game saved locally on your device. When you boot up a game from the Dreamiverse, that's loading it in from a server. So the actual speed of loading games within the Dreamiverse won't change because they're server-based.
Then why is loading Dreams in a PS4 Pro much faster than a PS4?
Loading the actual game will be faster, yes, but actually booting different games within Dreams will stay the same.
Oh, yeah, I'm just cutting in here because, spicy waffles. We already we talked about that last week. That picture-in-picture, if they could have a web browser so that you could actually have references up for things while you're sculpting, God mode.
Yeah, perfect.
Immediately.
Oh,
Immediately in Dreams. God
yeah,
mode.
that picture-in-picture stuff is, if it works for Dreams, if we can find a workaround for that, it will be game-changing for developers within Dreams.
What I would want, that would be great. Something I really want is I want two things. Number one, I would love the ability, you know how we can use Dreams as photo mode to take pictures? And if you go to the photos or whatever, I would love to be able to take a photo and put it in the scene. I'd love to be able to make something, take a photo of it, and plop that baby right in the scene.
I'm going to tell you
so much with that.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I agree with you because I have been, for those that haven't seen, go to my YouTube, check out A Good Place to Die Part 1, which is kind of the blueprint of what I'm going to do when I start over. But that's one of the things I've been trying to figure out since I started working on what was going to be the second part, was how do I take a picture and then get that picture, because I don't want to try to draw in Dreams yet. And so I don't want to sit there and try to draw my character. It's going to look
it's definitely possible, though. Let's just put it out there. Have you seen the artwork on Dreams? It is definitely possible.
Oh, it's possible. But as we talked about the streamlining of things, that's something that could be streamlined. That
could be,
that could be added. And I do like the idea that most of the things that help us streamline are the creators in Dreams. Like they come up with things and they're like, "Hey, use this when you're doing this." But that's something that really does need, like, I really want people to do, because I want my character to open a folder, and in that folder have a Polaroid or picture that the person took of him with another character. And I don't want to draw that because it's not going to look right. It's literally going to look like a kindergartner with a fat crayon tried to come in and draw this thing, and I'm just like, and like Ledbetter is awesome.
He's one of the best at it.
And doing that stuff, and he has a great style that's so attractive. But like, I'm not, so
and that's why.
Yeah,
that's why being able to take a picture and just plopping multiple pictures in the same scene would be so amazing.
It really would.
It would, but you go back to that whole copyright issue. I mean, if they allow you to import images into Dreams, they can't really. Well, yeah, it is importing though, isn't it? Whichever way you look at it, you're transferring that image into the game.
You are importing.
So no matter which way you look at it, it's going to get abused in the wrong way, the same as the audio recording limit got abused. You can just see it. It's inevitable for it to happen, and that's why the feature is not there in the first place.
Well, here's the difference, because there's already.
1 second. Bad Robo said I have a second monitor next to it, so it's no difference for me. The way I think the window would work better is when people are in VR and they don't have the option to look at a second monitor or whatever next to where they're working. If you're in VR and you can pop up that picture-in-picture with the reference on it without having to remove the head thing and look every time you're doing something, that's just quality of life. So I that's what I think we're more so saying, and what I was saying about that option, because I also plan to switch into VR on Dreams. But sorry to cut you off, Insane Alpha. Please continue.
So what I mean is, like, if you're working on a scene and you press pause and go to photo mode and blop, you just snap the picture there, and you could put that picture back in the scene. And people are going to abuse it anyway. People still, like, there's still Wario, there's still Shrek. It's not like those are just going to go away. It's not going to affect them. It's just going to be more Shrek in the stupid memes. Like, it's not going to really affect that, I don't think.
So
they're still going to be there.
You want an internal screenshot to picture feature within Dreams itself.
Yeah, internal.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that could work. Because
you could sculpt a huge environment, a huge city, take a picture of it, and know it's background art, and you can use the thermal you would have used on that on a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're going with that, but it still doesn't fix the issue of being able to have a reference.
Yeah.
Bad Robo, I can already see all those undressed photos uploaded to Dreams. Oh my God. Oh, that's no good. because you're so right.
Yeah.
It really is, though. But on a more positive note, the other thing I really want, and this is more specific to shows and short films and movies and stuff like that, I want the option to pick a lower frame rate. I want the option to purposefully select a lower frame rate.
24 frames? 24 frames?
24, 30, 24, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be amazing for shows and short films. Being able to select a lower frame rate would be huge.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, the way that Dreams is designed as it is right now, it doesn't have a frame rate as far as I know. It just tries to use as much resources as possible to push out the highest frame rate that you are creating in. So actually having that control would be nice. As you say, like, having 24 frames for film and stuff, it would be nice to be able to have that feature.
But let's take this conversation and transition into the other thing I was talking about, which was the conversation happening on Twitter this past week about Dreams, where people were talking about how users should be thinking about Dreams. And Alpha, you had a lot to say about that, so I wanted you to take over with that.
My main issue was, of course, I was talking about the 15-second audio limit and how, like, I had so many people talk to me when I was mentioning my thoughts on that limit, and they talked about how, they are talking to us, they are saying things. I'm like, where? I've not seen it anywhere. And some things I've heard were them saying things a few months ago, but thankfully, I forgot his name, Ed, I think, replied to my post and saying that, yeah, they are working on a solution. They just don't have anything to share at the moment. I'm like, yeah, that's all I want to hear. Just something as simple as we're working on it and we hear you. And I have to say, because I didn't mention this on Twitter yet, I have to disagree with Neon the Coder, who said he doesn't think Dreams is for serious creators. I completely disagree with that. I think it is, because I'm one of those serious creators.
I mean, I would have. I would have to agree with that. Just because what we've seen people be able to create, the only thing I can say is that he's saying how he looks at it and trying to transpose that onto the rest of the community. Whereas, as I've been saying since episode 1, like, as a person with no connections in the game and no luck in putting together a team in real life to be able, like, to be able to get a project done, I can do that now. And it doesn't matter that I'm not part of some big company working on it. I feasibly can create something that can be given to a big company. And it just depends on how much you want to put into it. And literally, if you want to bide your time, because you have to learn some things. And if you don't have a big team to match the scope of the project you're working on. But yeah, I disagree with Neon the Coder on that.
And speaking of what you just said, what makes Dreams so awesome to me is that it doesn't matter if you have a team or you're going it alone, you can still make something amazing. That's what's so great about Dreams to me. It doesn't matter if you're, like, you want to go solo, like yours truly, or if you want to go with a team, like both of you, we can all still make absolutely stunning stuff that makes people's jaw drop.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, the only reason, like I said, I feel like your scope is what measures whether or not you find a team. Yeah. I don't think it has anything, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I could do it all myself, I'd do it, but I can't. And so if I want to theoretically, at the end of the 10-year plan, if I want to have more than a 10-year project that I did myself, I need a team. And go ahead.
Let's just put it this way. It's very easy within Dreams to decide where you need to go. Once you've sort of figured out the basics of how Dreams works, you can have a rough calculation of how long it's going to take you to create something based on your personal experience with creating. And for me personally, once I went through all the tutorials and I figured out how to do the basics, I got the idea for the game that I wanted to create, which was Dino. And instantly I knew that creating this on my own was just not a possibility.
It was a 10-year plan.
The game was just the game was too big. It was too complicated. There was too many elements involved. It was just not possible. So that's when I decided to create a team. And the beauty of Dreams is it has never been easier to find a team of people to collaborate together on a project and make something way bigger than your own imagination.
Yeah.
That is what is amazing about Dreams. Is you try to do this in any other engine, and unless you have money involved, you will not do it, because people aren't interested, because there is such a stigma around those engines that they are designed for profit and profit alone, that you just would never find a team. I mean, like with us, with Lucid Nebula Studios, we're currently at 10 members strong. You know, you couldn't do that in Unreal or Blender or whatever other engine you want to use, because people are going to want some type of monetary gain out of it. But with Dreams, it's
people
not
are just mega cooperative.
Yeah, people just want to work together and create something cool, and that's what makes Dreams so special.
And I would like to explain that Ed Hargraves, his reply, I loved it, because it walked the perfect line between, like, PR and keeping it real. It was so great, because you could see like the middle finger, like, punctuating that final but it was said in a way where it was like, yeah, he right. And so I just want to point that out that I really thought that was very tactfully done.
You're welcome, because it was me he was replying to, if I
Yeah.
recall.
Oh, it was. It was. But yeah,
Salted
it's
in my
just
soul.
so. Oh, Ledbetter, you missed us blowing you up, man. You like we were talking about your painting skills and how awesome you are, but I'll catch you up. So, no, and I also want to take this moment because I have Acert in chat. Something that I personally never thought would happen, and I know that might sound silly to some of you, but when I first got Dreams, between Acert and Mr. Wushi, if it weren't for those two, I would be more garbage than I am. So I would like to take a moment to say the only reason I've been able to create anything, especially with the way I explained earlier, is how I went about learning in Dreams, is because of Acert and Mr. Wushi. And so I want to say thank you for coming to the show, and you are awesome, my dude. So
when I was originally like coming over to Dreams and trying to learn more about it, the first person I ever saw streaming Dreams was Acert. He was the first Dream streamer I actually ended up watching. He was the first one I saw, and I'm like,
awesome.
this guy seems cool. And I clicked on him and been following ever since.
For me, it was his YouTube, because I said,
You know, it's funny. It's so funny you mentioned that. Yeah. Sorry. I was watching people play, because like this was before the stimulus stuff came in, and I didn't know I'd be able to get Dreams when I got it. Because I'm like, oh, it'll probably be a while before I'm able to get this game. Because I didn't have the money to do so, and I was watching people play our stream. And I had actually watched Acert play through it, and I forgot I had watched him play through it. They're like, oh, wait, I saw you before.
Yeah. So
I know this guy.
I mean,
But
that's
to,
what. Go ahead.
Sorry,
go
go
ahead.
on.
No,
Go on. No, because
Okay.
I'm going to change. I'm going to change the subject. So
Okay, I just
Go for it.
I just wanted to say, like, I know sometimes it may sound like I'm just like, you know, gargling nuts over here for when like we have certain people that, you know, that come onto the show or that show up in chat. But like I said, y'all don't realize how much I hope you realize now, but I don't know if you realize how much I love Dreams. And certain people are like superstars to me. Like, it's almost like you're not.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Yeah. Like InsaneAlphaBeta, he changed my life. I got religion, and you know, he made me into a better person. And then I met Mr. Wushi and Acert, and I was like, they're teaching me how to live, and I was like, I appreciate that. So, you know, I may know sometimes y'all might not think I'm being, you know, honest or that I'm playing up something. Believe me, I'm not. Like I'm thankful for these people, because Dreams and the people that I've met around Dreams have given me the ability to do something I've never been able to do in my life. And so that's why I take the time to tell people. So anyway, change the conversation.
So back to the audio side of things with you know, these people from Media Molecule actually confirming that they are working on it. What do you think they're going to do? Because it's quite evident that the community has made their voice heard, that we need a solution for this audio issue. So they're working on a solution, but what do you think the solution's going to be? Because we've talked about this in the past, haven't we, Vicious, about, you know, maybe adding a strike feature where if you use copyrighted content, you're done, you know, that creation is going to be deleted. But do you really think they would take such a angry approach towards the moderation of audio within Dreams?
I think they need to hire me to be people's knees. And I'm more than willing to work for Media Molecule and beat them legs up. I'm telling you, just give me the IPs, let me search them through. I will be beating legs out here.
I think the solution is honestly just as simple as making it 30 seconds. That's really all that they need to do.
Do you really think that 30 seconds is enough?
No, that's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It needs to go back to a minimum of 3 minutes.
No, it's better for those who intend to use it right. But it's not better than, I mean, somebody said something last week about how they found a way to get around it. And what they did is they would record and they would record like outside of Dreams this super long thing and then slow it down to a specific speed, put it inside Dreams, and then speed it back up inside of Dreams to get the right there. And I mean, I don't know.
We shouldn't have to do that though.
No. I'm not saying we should have to, but I'm saying that alone shows you how innovative people will be. So with 30 seconds, that's enough to get. Wait a minute, Acert.
I think it should be 3 seconds.
Wait, Acer, come, bruh. I just spent all this time blowing you up, and you gonna come out telling a voice actor that he gets 3 seconds. I don't even get a chance to hit a note. Just got lowered. I get quarter notes. But no, like, I mean, 30 seconds is too much without a system, because that is enough for people to get to the, like, to work around it. People will architect a way. The only way
they're gonna, regardless, like, there hasn't been any less.
Which is the point. Which is why.
There's not any less. There's not going to be any more.
Which is why we don't have the audio changes we want. Like, this is the bottom line. It's just, that's why. So the way you get around it, other than hiring me to beat people's kneecaps, is
why the kneecaps?
No,
go for the neck, man.
Because I'm gonna tell you, going for the neck might kill them, and that's not what you want. You want to make them suffer. So if you go for the kneecaps and impair their movement, it overall just makes their life a torturous hell. But anyway, let's get back to the point. So basically, the only thing that will fix it, and we can move on after this, is. The only thing that will fix it is a strike system that literally bans people from Dreams. That's the only thing that'll fix it.
I wouldn't say banning people from Dreams. Maybe removing their content from the Dreamiverse.
I mean, that was a little misspoken by me, because I had stated that before. But it was,
even if you were to ban them and go that far, they're just gonna make an alt account.
I said it wrong. What I meant by ban them from Dreams is, you take away the project. If the project has this audio in it, then you literally delete the project off of Dreams. That's the punishment. So all the work you put in, all the stuff that you uploaded to them, that's gone now. All because you couldn't not use copyrighted music. People do that a few times, they're either going to leave Dreams or they're going to learn.
But the problem with it is not like that solution would work, but you have to think of the manpower that goes behind that solution.
Yeah.
Someone has to sit there and filter through all of these creations to find copyrighted material in order for that system to work. They need something like what YouTube has, where, it detects copyrighted music and flags it instantly. In order for that solution to work, they need something like this, because there is just not enough manpower in a day to go through everything on the Dreamiverse and filter through it for modernized stuff. It's just not feasible.
Ledbetter said that it should be level capped.
Ooh, level capped.
Ooh.
So I hadn't heard that yet.
That's actually quite a good solution.
Yeah,
but then you get to a certain level, you can still just upload it anyway.
Yeah, but then you get the mega memers, the mega memers that are level 50. They've made 80 billion memes already. No, I'm just playing. So I'm not playing anyway.
I mean, I personally wouldn't mind if they just went through and they purged the Shrek models, they purged the high mark models, just purge everything, just purge all the memes from it. You know what they really need to do though about memes? Just give them their own section. Just make a section.
They really do need a section.
Guys, don't get on memes. Don't get on memes.
Or give us the ability to filter out words and tags in certain actors.
Just say, I don't want to see anything like this. No more SpongeBob, no more Mario, no more Shrek. I don't want to see none of it.
The word meme and SpongeBob and all. If we could just filter out those words, that kills 90% of them. 90% is just gone. If you want to go further, block the assets. So anything made with those assets are gone, just removed. That another solution to just get rid of the memes.
Guys, we've done this ad nauseum. We've talked about all this. So let's move on, and let me ask you something back based off of that conversation and Ed Hargraves and that whole topic where, you know, people getting frustrated that we don't know more about the upcoming plans for Dreams. And every time, like, I would like to say that this is the reason that I brought up a few episodes ago the idea of, can Dreams evolve too slowly? And it's because I think, one, gamers are getting out of hand, okay? This is why I don't like to call myself a gamer, okay? With, like, the fact that people get death threats, and I dare somebody to give a death threat to Media Molecule. I will. Come, like, we're just talking here. Like, we discuss things within the community, but at no time am I really judging them on anything they're doing or telling them how to do their job. Like, we're just discussing things as a community. But I do feel like some people are approaching this as if, like, they're making demands of Media Molecule. And, you know, I already told you, I could already told you, like, they could sell me, they could say, hey, on PS5, you got to pay for the game again. They would never do that. But if they did it, and even if they said you got to pay for it again, and it's $70, I'd still pay for it. That's how much I'm in their camp. But people out, like, if people are truly out here, like, making demands of Media Molecule, you need to slow up. Like, real talk. You need to slow up. The game been out for not even a year, and it's a 10-year plan. That means they have at least a general plan of how 10 years are going to go. You got to give them time, and they told you that from the jump before it was out. I'm just here to say, as far as that goes, you can discuss all you want and speculate about how things should be or all that, but you shouldn't make, like, it's not at a point where you can make demands. They gave you a tool way beyond anything else that's being offered. Especially,
you can literally make whatever you want.
Yeah, especially in console, and as Jamie has said many times, it's a miracle that Dreams can even work on a PS4. Like, just straight out, it's miracle, man. Like, it's crazy. And so, yeah, like,
magic.
It's that magic. So if you that old magic, if you
magic.
So, like, you know, if you see somebody out there, because we have to protect the community. We really do. We don't want to, like, we're considered, and I truly feel this, we're considered, like, the most genuinely helpful community in gaming right now.
Sure.
And
that's because we are.
Yeah, and we got to protect that. So if you see somebody out there running around with their entitled weenus out, talking about what they should be getting, you go ahead and you check that dude. We don't need that dude. Personally, that's how I feel about it. So, I mean, that's really what I wanted to say on that topic, because it's all fun and games, but man, if people start acting a fool out here, I go on Twitter about once a day, and catch up with what everybody's doing, what everyone's going through, and then I'm off till the next day. You are going to see a bigger presence if this shit goes south.
I think you should be there more often anyway.
Like, I mean, it's just I have so much stuff. I just have so much stuff to do. I have my own business that I'm running, as well as doing all this stuff, as well as working with Lucid Nebula, as well as working on my short film with another group. Like, I'm doing voiceovers for people. Like, I'm doing a lot. So I don't really have the time to be on Twitter that much, but I still try to be present. But you will see an uptick if this community starts to go south, I would come through this shit like Conan, okay? Like it's not going to be pretty. So I'm just saying.
But I don't
check
think we have any issues with the community going south, to be quite fair.
You say that, but I'm going to tell you, let anyone threaten anybody from Media Molecule. Let it happen, because it's been happening this past week for Cyberpunk and a few noted cases from the Halo developers in 343, and they just lost their director. People are getting a little out of hand, and I'd like to think that it's like little kids, but I honestly believe that it's not. That it's grown men out here acting a fool. And so I'm just saying, if check them when you see them, because if Vicious get there, it's not going to be pretty. If I have to take time out of my work schedule to go on Twitter to become a warrior, it's not going to be pretty.
Oh my God.
That person's just going to be scrolling through Twitter saying stuff that out of nowhere, out from their screen, you just slowly ooze out of the screen with an axe.
Yes, it's gonna.
How you doing, buddy? Slash.
Yeah. I'm a be Samara. I'm gonna be the ring out here calling motherfuckers 7 days, and it's gonna be over. Be like, check these flights, and when you see that flight land, that's the end of you. I just don't. I don't.
They're gonna wake up the next day. They're gonna open up their front door. And you're just gonna be standing there with the judgment to look like
with a hammer with a Media Molecule emblem just engraved into it. And it's become the Media Molecule Punisher. And so anyway, it's just like I said. This community means a lot to me, and I really don't want it to go the way of things, which is why I think we want it to grow, but in growing, we don't want it to grow too fast, and we don't want it to gain those people. And we know those people, okay?
Yeah.
We don't want
people here, unfortunately.
Yeah, oh, they are. They are, and I've said little things here and there on Twitter. If you find some random conversations, I've been there saying little things. I'm just saying I'll be there more often, and I'll lose my tact.
I'll just make a bunch of fake accounts to get you to be on Twitter more often.
Mighty Vicious 1 through 10.
Right, I have something I need to get off my chest.
Suspicious.
I have something that I need to get off my chest, and I want your opinion. And also, chat's quite hectic at the moment, so I'd like to get their opinion as well before we move on to anything else. Do you think it was a massive missed opportunity for Sony to not add Dreams to the PS Plus collection? Because I think it was a greatly missed opportunity for Dreams to gain thousands of more players if it was added.
No.
No? Why?
I am terrified that Dreams, even though Media Molecule, they are in a much better position than Team Dakota was, I am still slightly terrified that something's going to happen and it's going to be like Project Spark, where they don't have enough money to support the game and the game just dies like Project Spark did. I was talking...
Dreams' budget is way bigger than what Project Spark was.
Way better situation, but that fear is still in the back of my mind because of my memories of Project Spark. Because I love that game. I love making stuff in that game. And then they're like, oh yeah, we can't really pay for it, so we have to shut down. And I do not. That's why I keep telling people I don't want Dreams to be free. I really don't. Because the moment it goes free, that's being put in my head like, oh no, here we go again.
I think you underestimate the budget that Sony has given Media Molecule for this project.
Oh, I don't. I'm just up. That fear's not going to go away. I'm still going to be cautious, fearful of that. It's a future.
What's your opinion, Will?
I agree with Alpha.
Okay.
I do. And I don't think... How would I put this?
You got this.
I don't think that we want those people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
Listen, you put it there, so many more of those people will come in here just because it's free.
Just
They're
think.
getting 'cause they want it.
There
They're
is
getting
that, yeah.
Jamie, just let me say this, and I think I can win you over to our side. How many more memers do you think are going to come in with that wave?
Oh, God.
We don't want it to go free. No, I changed my mind. It doesn't need to go on PS Plus collection. Keep it paid for. No,
And just
we don't
like
need
that,
it. That's it. No, I
it's
agree.
over.
It's over. It's over.
Because that
Done.
ratio is going to
Done.
be a 9-to-1 more
Yep,
memers
it's
to
done.
real
No.
players.
Let's not talk about it.
Don't you speak that evil Ricky Bobby? No.
Oh, Jesus. Just the thought of like a 90% increase in Mario and Shrek memes. Just,
yeah.
Gives me nightmares.
Yeah, it's gonna. That's the thing. Like right now, even though people speak as if dying and all that other stuff, like when
It's not dying.
when it really comes down to it, it's just you're seeing people buckle down. Like you're seeing people get.
Yeah, we've
like,
said this before.
Yeah.
People are still working on creations since the beta that's probably going to come out next year. We've already said 2021 is going to be a massive year for Dreams.
Yeah,
I've been saying that as well. I said that right now we're basically just in a content drop because all the big names, I'm not a big name, but myself included, are making some kind of big project. And I think
Ooh.
2021, especially Dreamscom, is when you're going to start to see those things.
Ledbetter just said something that actually makes me wonder. He said, "What if it's free for playing only?"
Okay, now you're talking my language.
That's real interesting.
That changes everything. Absolutely. That'd be great. It's free for playing through everything, but if you want to actually create stuff, you have to pay for it. Make it happen. I'm sold.
Yeah, that actually solves the issue completely.
That would solve so many problems. Would get so many more players.
But would that stop the memers, or would they play the memes and see that they can create them? God, and then, because if you look at it, I only bring this up because if you go to Amazon, Dreams was like, it wasn't even 40 anymore. There was like 30, and I thought I saw one for like 25, and it's like new, and I'm like, like it's getting like it's. First of all, it was released cheaper than it should have been. In my opinion, like it is solid stuff, but yeah, like I mean,
what was retail? Because I paid like a reduced price because I was in early access. So what was actual retail?
Retail was $40 US, which normally AAA game releases are $60. So it already was released. Like I would have easily paid $60, and I'll pay it again if I have to, if not more. So
I got a solution, by the way.
Here we go. Okay, here's the solution. Tell us.
Solution to this new problem is just make it so that they can get it for free and play, but they can only play games by Media Molecule and only play picked games. Done. Solved.
See,
that way they don't see the memes. They can only see the picks and things made. They're like, okay, look at all these quality things people are making. Maybe I want to make something like that.
That was actually quite a good response, because my question was going to be, well, the reason why the community is so nice in Dreams, and especially to other people's creations, is because we know what Dreams is, and we know the experience and the journey that it takes to create something within Dreams. If we were to just allow everybody in to play Dreams, they're going to be expecting a different type of quality to what we know is the standard within Dreams, right?
Exactly.
So you'll get all these new people coming into play. They will find the quality not up to the standard they was expecting, and then
they're
you
going to the
new level of negativity into the community.
They're going to go to the new section and just see nothing but the tutorial stuff and memes, and they're not going to see anything that tells them this is something you can use to make literally whatever you want.
So I want to go back to why it was that cheap and whether or not we're all idiots. So
okay.
I mean, I'd argue that's true regardless.
I was just thinking to myself, what if they saved the marketing push that we've all been like, oh my God, why wouldn't you market all of this? Like, Dreams is amazing. Why wouldn't you do it? What if they did it just to save the money so that it could fly under the radar until next gen and these bigger projects start up? So that around the 3, like I would say the 2.5 to 3 year mark is when it comes out, just like Among Us. Among Us has been out for 3 years. Like, and it just now blew up because of influencers basically finding it out of the blue. You know, some of them, of course, probably were, you know, paid to do it. But the point is that, you know, is that by the time they do that push that we've been like, oh my God, why won't you market it? By the time they do that, I think they want, like, or I should say, what if they want it to be so established with the creations that they can push it and have that higher quality level stuff there? I just had the thought.
No, that makes perfect sense, because that actually ties in with your theory of Dreams still being in beta, if you will.
Yeah, like, I mean, we're in the beta of Dreams.
That makes perfect sense. Wait for all these creators to come in, build a tightly knitted community. 3 years later, there's going to be these massive games on the platform that are worth advertising, and then that's when we get everybody involved. Once
my show will be out, Dino will be out by then.
Yeah, once these early people have come in and invested their time and created the content, then we have the content to advertise. Makes perfect sense, really, when you think about it.
But I do think before they advertise, they need to just purge all the names. Just purge them all.
Yeah.
Do a reset.
pure five head.
Delete them, set them on fire.
Oh.
We have a clean slate of actually original stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and they could make a big effort to do something like that. Maybe they'll use that algorithm y'all were talking about with the keywords. Maybe they'll use that to clean the whole database except for actual creations. Maybe they will.
Look, I'm not a violent person, but I'm just saying it needs to be nuked. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind just nuking all the people from orbit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and Ledbetter, I agree. It is.
Like, it hurts so much when I put genuine effort, like a whole month and some change of effort into my game, and then I see a meme someone couldn't have spent more than 5 minutes on, get like 3,000 people playing it. Like, oh, my heart. It hurts.
Yeah, and I feel like that gives the validity, Ledbetter, because he says Dreams seems like something a big YouTuber could milk for a while. And
absolutely.
I believe it is, but I do believe also that the longer it exists, the more true that statement becomes.
It's going to become a gold mine.
And so, yeah, it's going to get to that point where it's like, yeah, like I said, the Among Us aspect, where in like 3 years, it's going to be some stuff that people have really been putting their time into. And it's like, oh my God, did you play that game from Dreams? And it's actually going to be something that comes out, like, it's a common statement that's going to come every month. And
I also think we just need longer experiences too.
Also, if somebody has something... Oh, what? Wait, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also think there needs to be longer experiences in Dreams, because what you have already right now is people who play the game, they get through everything because everything's so bloody short, and then they're done for a month or two, and then they come back and get through everything again because everything is so absurdly short. I completely disagree with the notion that Dreams is for things that should be like super short gaming experiences. We need longer stuff.
No,
because if you have a bunch of longer games, longer shows,
Yeah, but that is going to come. I mean, you have to consider the time that it takes to create these things. I mean, like, we've been in development with Dino now for quite a while, and we're still in the early stages because it takes so long to do so little, because there's so much planning involved and so much to do. I mean, like I said, 2021, you're going to see much larger games on Dreams. You'll see these 6 to 8 hour campaigns.
Dreams going to be
You know, it's all down to the length of time it takes to create them. And like I
Yeah.
said before, 2021, you will see bigger games on Dreams because it just takes so long to make them.
Yeah, and
Right now,
I mean,
Dreams
all
is still
of
in
this.
its infancy stages. It hasn't even learned how to walk yet.
Mm.
People need time to get better
Yeah,
with this thing.
you just need to bear with it until it grows
Exactly.
itself.
People just need more time.
Yeah. Because I mean, the one thing that they've brought up in multiple interviews was that, you know, they wanted people to understand what game development is really like. And so you have people that jump in and their focus, like Neon the Coder was bringing up, like, about not being serious and stuff. It's kind of the same way. People came in, some people are looking for looking to make short things. Like, they're looking to make, like, an idea starter, basically. Or, hey, let me see how this would work. But then, the longer this game exists, the more you're going to find the people who are grouping down into teams and are like, hey, we're going to spend 3 years.
Or working alone.
Yeah, or working alone. And be like, we're gonna spend 3 years. We're gonna actually have a real development cycle. And that's what creates the narrative, I think, of people being like, Dreams is dying. It's like, it's not dying. It's just you're seeing people buckle down.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that you are impatient. You are not ready for it yet.
Yeah.
And the thing with Dreams is as well that you have to consider, it's so easy to publish something. So you can create something within 2 or 3 hours and publish it, and it's there. With conventional engines, you don't publish anything until it's finished. So someone can come up with an idea and want to test the players. So, like, someone could come up with this idea for a game, create a level within a week, upload it to get feedback to see if they want to continue creating that project. That doesn't really happen in any other engine.
Yeah.
So that's why you see also a lot of short experiences, is because people are testing the water with the community whether the game will actually work because of the time it will take to finish it. That's why we see so many demos and you know, levels, games with like 2 levels.
As a result of that, people think that demos are all that Dreams is capable of, when we all know it's not.
No.
Yeah.
You can make a fully blown game at this thing.
And they're gonna learn. They're going to learn what we're capable of.
You can literally create a 100-hour campaign in Dreams if you wanted to.
You absolutely could.
Yep.
It's just investing the time into it. You could put 100 dreams within a dream, and then another 100 dreams within that dream. You know, you could make a game 1,000,000 hours long if you had the time to create it, but it just takes that time to develop it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Dreams I love, is that it lets either one person or a small team do in just a few months what would probably take a professional team of people with professional tools several months to make.
That's what I mean. And you have to consider as well that the majority of people that are coming to Dreams have never done anything within game development before. So you have the whole learning curve on top of it as well. You know, it's not like we're all professionals and we've come from a game creation background or you know, an animation background or you know, mathematical background for logic. We're just normal people that want to develop games. So you have that aspect to it as well. It just takes time. And I think the player side might just be a little too impatient for those games, but they are going to come.
And when you actually look at the logic, like we were talking about earlier, is the learning curve too steep? A lot of the logic really is just self-explanatory when you really take a look at it. Like when I was making the gameplay for Isless, I wanted to make it so that if you run while by him, you're dead. Well, how do I do that? I just put a trigger zone on Islith, and I also, the pumpkin has a little thing to detect when you're running, so I literally just hook those into an AND gate, which is the best gadget in Dreams, and I have it so that when all of them are true, it just plays the jump scare. It's so simple. Literally, Isless gameplay mechanic is literally just a few trigger zones for if you're walking, running, or standing still, and an AND gate. That's it.
Yeah, it's so simple.
It's so simple. It's just what you would expect.
You make it sound so simple.
It's just, I don't even know what these dummies are doing.
The logic just goes straight over my head. I don't even want to attempt it.
The thing is that you would learn it a lot better if you're actually working on something with it. Like, I remember when I first got Dreams, kind of like what Mighty Vicious said, I tried messing around first. Like, I did the tutorials, because I thought about it. I did the tutorials first, and then I I decided that I would mess around a bit afterward, and I had no idea what I was doing. But when I started working on Vengeful Eyes and actually had a project to work on, and I'm like, okay, I want to do this thing. How do I do it? And I took a look, and it just started to make sense.
Maybe to you it did.
Okay, this is the easiest. This is the easiest way to do logic right here. Okay, what you do is you go ahead, you open up your project, and then you get on Twitter and you say, "Hey, I need logic, dude," and then and have that dude share it with that dude, and then he can do all this easy stuff, and then you're just like, "Hey, thanks, bro," and then you move on. That's how you do it, right there. Best way to do logic ever. Because I'm like I said before, like I just don't have time. I don't have time to become that comfortable with it to where I can speak with the confidence of InsaneAlphaBeta. I don't have the time to gain that confidence. But I feel like if someone if someone was able to, say once we have multiplayer, sit there and show me specifically how to do a certain thing using most of the gadgets, I'd have it.
And
but that's how I learn. Whereas someone's like, hey,
I think it's like time to go now.
Oh God, where there's someone that's like,
Actually,
hey, just hey, just it's easy. Just take a look at this logic I put into this scene. And so you go into the scene, and what they don't understand is that you don't know what half those things mean. And by half, I'm being generous. You don't know. you don't know what any of it means. And so at that time, you're like, yeah, I'm seeing it, but I'm still gonna need somebody to come through and be like, hey, what does this mean?
Let me go get through this real quick because I'm gonna have to go to the store here in a few moments.
To the store?
Well, yeah, I gotta go get dinner and stuff. I gotta eat, man.
Do you? Do you? No, I'm just playing.
No, you'll be like that one couple I heard who absorbed sunlight and didn't eat food.
So why don't we close off here with InsaneAlphaBeta, and then we'll move on to the pick of the week and sort of the end of the show.
Sounds good to me, because one thing I was going to say is, another thing I love about dreams is that there is no right way to do something.
Very true.
You want to work alone? That's a valid option. You want to go with the team? That's a valid option. If you want to do logic in a certain way, you can do it that way. There is no one right way to do things. And that's what I love about dreams. And that's where I leave.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, man. I appreciated you coming in and talking about your project, as well as discussing these things with us, as we do want to get into newer content where we just talk with people instead of, instead of focusing on, other things. So thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. It's great to have you.
Yeah.
Maybe next time on, I'll have more to talk about my show next year. Wink, wink.
Yes. Which
that'd be nice.
Start posting about it. Yeah.
I did post a teaser image.
Wait, when?
On Twitter.
Yeah, when?
Days ago.
Did I throw a like on that?
No, you didn't.
Really?
You didn't.
Because when you said I posted on Twitter a few days ago, I was like, I think I saw that. But I thought I threw a like on it, but maybe I didn't. I'm going to go find it. Just for you. Just for you. I'll be there, baby. I'll be there, baby. Don't you worry. I got you.
I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the show.
And we will. Thank you again.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Now let's see how ugly.
Just figure out the exit.
Oh God. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll do this. And there. And now for the ugliest transition. It's not too bad. Yes, it didn't work too bad. It came. It's still going to be ugly on the secondary transition. So let me go ahead and do that.
Yep.
So I'm going to see how bad this looks, and I'll fix it while Jamie is talking about the next topic. Go. So
what is the next topic?
Let's go ahead and do our pick of the week from the Hallows, the secondary Hallows challenge.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So is the pick of the week showing?
It will be in a moment. There, it's showing. Jesus Christ.
All
Oh my
right.
God, it worked. It worked. Oh, guys, you don't know how much I was stressing
He's
about.
been stressing.
Oh my God, it actually looks good.
He has been really, really stressing about these transitions. It's
Okay.
been absolutely.
So our pick of the week for this week. Go ahead. I said you would do it.
No. Go. You go ahead. Go on. You're on a roll.
Okay. All right. You're on a roll. Call me Butter, baby, because I'm on a roll. All right. It's Vestige. And if y'all haven't played this from the Halloween or Halloween 2020 section of Dreams, this is a perfect example of, in my opinion, this is like a horror that I would play. This is like mental AF. Just the things that this person was able to pull off from a technical cinematographic like viewpoint is so good. The story had me from like the beginning to the end, and the way that there's just this like how do you say, like just the overall pace of everything in this was just right. Everything was right. And so I would say if you get to play it among many of the other creations that were picked by Media Molecule and some of them that weren't, check out Twitter. Vestige is my pick of the week, or our pick of the week, because it is
definitely
awesome. Y'all need to play this.
It's so well made. It has a real quality about it that is not seen in Dreams enough. The way that the camera shots is done, there's a scene where you go through this corridor and it just bends around to the left, and it's so flawlessly done. I mean, seriously, if this game was on Steam, you would never have known that it was made in Dreams, and it's a real testament to the creational standards that you can get within Dreams. The story, the music, the gameplay elements, the cinematography, everything about it is just absolutely spot on. And it's one of those real gems within Dreams. And as you know, I don't like horror, but as soon as I got into it and the first cutscene was playing, it just really grabs you because it's so well made. The voice acting's brilliant. Everything about it is just so polished.
Yeah, I'm mad that I wasn't in it. Yeah, I am. I'm salty. I'm like, who is making this? As a matter of fact, I reached out on Dreams to the person making this, and I was like, yo, we need to have you on the podcast. Hit me up. And then when we have them, I'm gonna ask, why wasn't I hit up for voice acting in this thing? Because it was, I mean, it's great, mind you. It's good. It's solid. But I'm trying to see if I can get a character in chapter 2. That's all I'm saying.
It is.
So,
but yeah, if you haven't played it, please just even if you're not a fan of horror like me, you will still be able to appreciate it, and it is such a masterfully piece of work, and it needs to be played. So please just give it a shot because it's so well done.
Yes. So I don't want to now. I am actually showing gameplay behind. And I don't want to show y'all everything, leave something for you to actually experience. But, yeah, there's just so much to like about so many things in this game. I just like, just that thing you just see on screen now where it's just crazy. Like there's so many technical aspects that are just great. Yep. So go ahead, play this if you get the chance. And, yeah, that's all about that. Now let's switch back to this closer transition where I'm sorry, Jamie, it is a little closer on your face. But
I'm going to move back a little bit.
But that's the least of our worries in this situation. I'm sorry. So
it's all right.
My guesstimating actually worked. I'm so happy. I can't express to you how happy I am about my settings. But so were there any other things that you've seen in Dreams or seen in Twitter that you felt like needs to be discussed? And I ask you this All right, and I asked the chat this as well. If there are any topics that you saw or things you would like to discuss, unless you're trying to save it for when you're on the show, just hit us up on the Discord. Basically, because I just really want to go back for a moment to that thing I was talking about, where it's like the gaming community. You want to know what angers me the most about the idea of people being ridiculous with Media Molecule is the idea that they didn't choose someone else first. If somebody, now, mind you, I say this loosely, so I'm not trying to trigger anyone, but if someone was like, now, and this is also discounting death threats because you don't do that as a person in civilized, discourse, but the fact that you don't have people like going harder at like EA or like their individual games like FIFA and their Ultimate Player and all their monetization, like you have a bunch of the journalists going at them, but the fact that people aren't more outraged about stuff like that, and they are outraged with Media Molecule because, hey, they were quiet for 2.5 months and didn't tell you what's coming yet, in quotes, yet. They're going to, but the fact that people are getting so irate as to say, oh, Dreams, that's just baby shit. Like, that bothers me. That really does.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I mean, I think the thing as well is that Media Molecule are a lot more open to talking to their community than other companies are, than other game studios. So the community has come to expect this one-to-one relationship with their player base because they're so open and they comment on everything. They'll chat to people on Twitter all the time, and so people have come to just expect that is normality with Media Molecule. So if they were to go quiet like they have, people are going to notice it a lot quicker and a lot more ferociously than you would with a company such as EA that is maybe not so interactive with their player base. So I think that's mainly where it's coming from, is that they've gone dark and they've gone quiet, and people aren't used to that because they're so interactive and they're always on top of updates and always talking about the future. Their Trello is open so everyone can see what they're working on. So with the whole PS5 thing with Dreams, I think that's the reason why people have got a bit more feisty with it, is because they're just so used to this openness with them. And then when they don't get that with this, it becomes a bit territorial. But, people just need to learn that, sometimes things is out of their hands. They probably have an agreement with Sony where they're not allowed to say anything. And, that it's just the way life is. You need to get over it. Stop being a big baby.
I mean, it's just, I don't want what I'm seeing happen with Cyberpunk happen with Media Molecule, because we are so close knit, and the people that consider Dreams a family, like me, I consider it a family, and I know I'm going to. I don't get. Despite, I have opinions about everything, but I don't get upset about much. If somebody steps out of line and threatens someone from Media Molecule, I mean, I said this before, but it's going to be a problem because I can see myself. I'm a person of extremes. And I know that not everybody, like, you don't know how people are going to react to being faced with that. And I just think of something of like, what if like Kareem or Abby were to step away from the project because of things people are saying, or if someone were to attack them or send a death threat to them or something like that. Like, people who don't really, as we talked about last week, people who don't really embody what Dreams is about, they have the power to ruin it for us all.
But I think that the majority of the Dreams community does. And you're talking about a very, very small minority within the community.
But that doesn't make them weak.
No, but the rest of the community will put them in their place, and I'll be one of them. They'll soon be drowned out by positivity. It would just happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would hope that's what
think
happens.
I might be overambitious with what I think would happen, but I've never been in a community that's so positive and supportive of everybody's creations and the company that's developed the game. This is truly unique, and I don't think anybody that thinks Dreams the way that I do and you do would allow something so dismantling happen. They'd just drown them out. I think you're worrying about something that is not going to happen.
I just put nothing past people.
Oh no,
and like I said, for and the thing that worries me, it's not that the community won't, because I really have I won't need to go after kneecaps. The community will put people in its place, but my fear is that the damage will be done by the time that happens. And yeah, I mean, you see Media Molecule, like when I watch their live streams, you can tell that they are people who are literally living the dream. Like, and I don't mean the dream of making tons of money. InsaneAlphaBeta, don't you, after you put my settings in peril, don't you dare sit in that chat typing good. Boy, look, I'll be back to you. I'll be back to you. Anyway, I just feel, I think everyone gets where I'm coming from. I just think of what could be the end game as far as how people react. Like, we're going to put anybody, and not just me, I'm not important, like the real people of Dreams. They'll put people in place immediately. If they were to send anything to, say, like Abby or Kareem or any of the people of Media Molecule, people will come out of the woodwork with more than enough bats to hit kneecaps.
I can't even see it as a feasible option of what you're talking about, because everybody that I've talked to within the Dreams community, and there is a ton that I've talked to, none of them have this negativity or disdain against Media Molecule and what they're doing in order for something like this to happen in the first place.
Yo, Elka just rated us with 129 viewers, so it's time. So it's time to acknowledge Elka. Hello, thank you for the raid. And for those that don't know, I am Mighty Vicious, and this is my co-host, Jammy James, the Emperor. Every Friday at 3 p.m. EST, we have a podcast that we talk about dreams and everything within the community. Currently, right now, we are discussing just what we want in the Dreams community and the elements that we don't want, and how people need to not necessarily overstep their bounds with a game that is not even a year old as far as their expectations while we transfer into PlayStation 5. So my worry that I proposed was the idea that, the community stepping up to defend Media Molecule, should we start to see the elements that lead to a troubled community, people wanting and expecting way too much, and people getting boisterous like they have with Cyberpunk over the last week, death threats and stuff like that, and how it's going to be up to us to defend this awesome community that we have cultivated so far. So with that, we'll get back into, like I said, Bad Robo, I agree. It would be crushed, but I'm going to be outright enraged, like at people. Like, I'm a person of extremes, which you will learn within moments of being on this podcast. and like, all I have to see is, like, I think MM should definitely hire people like me and a team to go around and just beat kneecaps. But anyway. So you were in the middle of saying, James, I'm sorry I cut you off. as we were going.
I don't think it will ever come to the point where we have that amount of negativity within the community. I just don't see it feasible. The community is just so great, and it's growing slowly, and for good reason. Like I've said before, Dreams is like this secret community that nobody knows about until you get the game, and then you're in it. So I find it very difficult to believe that such negativity could come from it, because the community is so understanding of Dreams, and I think everybody understands that it's a forever going on process. It's never going to be finished. Things take time. People just appreciate even having Dreams in the first place. So I think everything that you're discussing here, I think it's very, very unlikely, for death threats and hate mail and stuff like that. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that. I mean, sure, we'll see, a lot of comments on Twitter and stuff about where is this? How long is this going to take? Why aren't you talking about this? Blah, 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 blah. And that's a lot more easier to control. And I think Media Molecule will do a good job at controlling that. I mean, we've seen that with the reply to InsaneAlphaBeta's post this week about the audio issue. They've done it in a way where they give you the information you want, but also being stern enough to say, give us time, we know what we're doing, we are professionals at the end of the day, you'll get it when you get it. And there's, if they continue with that type of attitude where they're being nice about it, but also putting you in your place as well to say, we are the studio, you're the player, you get what you get once it's finished, then everything will be fine.
Yeah. So I can, all I can say is that I hope you were right. And that's really it, is that I hope you were right. And we'll see. We'll see. I have all the hope in the world that will be the case.
It will be. It will be. I mean, there is no community like the Dreams community, and that's not going to change. We're not going to see a massive league of players just dropping in at once. It's not going to happen unless they do this massive marketing scheme and, put a load of money into getting players into Dreams. The player base is only going to grow incrementally slowly like it has done since it released. And, if it continues on that route, you'll see the people come in, try it, don't like it, leave. And then you're going to see the people that do like it stay, love the community, love what everything is happening, and they'll just join in with all the positivity that's already happening. So until we get to a point where we get thousands upon thousands of players entering the game within a short time span, we're never going to see this introduction of negativity within the community. So I really don't think we have anything to worry about.
And for those, because I've seen a few people say already, asking if we were with Media Molecule. We are not. No. I want to clear that up. I want to clear that up right now. But for those that weren't here last week and missed the news, we are currently waiting for Abby and to get back to us, because we're planning on having Abby and Kareem on the podcast, and they're checking with Sony as well. They're checking with Sony basically to get it okayed as far as showing up live and speaking with us. But that's going to be big. If we can get Abby and Kareem on this show, which I have spoken with Abby and we're working on it, and she's working on it with Sony, I really hope we can get it done, because I would love to pick their brain, both of them. The mega brain of MM that is shared between them. So
Will, would you mind getting the trailer ready for our production? Seeming as we have a lot of new viewership here, it would be nice to introduce ourselves and what we're doing, and we actually are getting requests in chat to show the trailer to all these new viewers. So would that be possible?
Yes, give me my settings.
I'll go ahead and introduce us while you prepare everything. So for everyone new that is here in the chat, we are a group called Lucid Nebula Studios, and we are a game development studio within Dreams. There is about 10 of us at the moment that are currently in the development of our debut game called Dino, and we'll have the trailer for you shortly. This particular production is something that I've wanted to create for a very long time, and it is only possible to do with Dreams. So I had this idea for this game, and when Dreams came out, it was just the ideal solution for it to work. So I managed to put the word out to say that I wanted to build a team and to create a studio within Dreams to develop this title that would be amazing and that a lot of people would love. And thankfully, I had a lot of response. And now we have this team together and we're working on our project. And as I said, the title is called Dino, and it is about a robot that's in a world where human civilization is no more. And he has woken up on this place. He has no memory of where he's come from or what has happened. And he has to go through this world and figure out what has happened in order to determine what he needs to do. So please enjoy the trailer.
Okay. Now, do you want me to play it with the actual sound?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. So then what I will do is get us sound, and they'll be able to hear it while we're without removing everything. Sorry, didn't know if that was the case. So so we'll I don't can y'all hear that?
Will awake in nothingness.
Could y'all hear that beginning? This is okay. So then let me start it over. I'm sorry. I just didn't want to I didn't want to ruin that. Yeah, it's gone now because I turned it off. Hold on one second. Continue to talk while I get this done.
Okay. So this game is coming out in 2021, and we are currently in full-term development of the game. So we're working on all the basic elements that we need, which is mechanics and environmental tests and everything else that you need to do first before we can start to compile everything together. We hope to have some updates for everyone as we go along in the development process. Right now, we're in the stage where we're sort of getting everything to a position where we can compile it all and be able to move on with the more visual elements. And as soon as it comes to that point, we'll be constantly updating everyone on our Twitter and our Facebook pages and our Discord with new updates, new trailers, new screenshots, and everything. So,
okay. Well, now we're set. And sorry everyone for cutting it off beforehand, but I was making sure everything was going to come through right. So here we go with the trailer.
Cool.
You will awake in nothingness. And in nothingness, one thing is certain. You will know what it means to be alone. Like those that came before, our time has come to an end. All empires fall. Those left behind dictate the promise of tomorrow. Left for you, a riddle. Traces of our achievements reduced to memories. But with those memories, you will tread on what we were to determine what we will become. If we are to be at all.
PlayStation
There we go. I muted myself. But yeah, so for
That
everyone,
is-
go
Sorry,
ahead.
go on.
Oh, well, I was going to say we've put this up on in the Dreamiverse now. So if you go to the Lucid Nebula Dreams account, you'll be able to see it within Dreams, and we're working on it.
On Dreams, we are called Lucid Nebula Games. If you just search for Dino in the Dreamiverse, it'll pop straight up. So just give us a follow. We plan to upload as much content on Dreams as well as off Dreams. So follow us on everything for more updates. A lot of people were asking what type of game what type of genre of game Dino is, and it's a mixture between a puzzle platformer / walking simulator. Dino it's the best way that I can describe it.
Walking simulator is not the right word. That has a negative context since
I
since Death Stranding. So just say just say it's a puzzler adventure game.
It's a puzzle adventure game. Then okay, fair enough. But what you can expect from Dino is it's a very cinematic piece of material. There's going to be quite a few cutscenes, and it's going to be extremely emotional. It's a very serious topic that Dino is based upon. So don't expect sort of a lot of comedy value to it. It's a very emotional piece, and it's going to be very moving. So yeah, just something to look forward to in the future.
Yeah. So outside of that, we're here, and we love talking to a bunch of the creators from the Dreamiverse, because there's a lot we can learn from me personally, from about everybody. So I hope to see some of you as we continue. I believe next week we'll be speaking with Acert, and until then, we're, like I said, waiting to hear from Abby. And
that's going to be a big, good episode for us. It's going to be really nice if we can get them on for the show.
Yeah. And thank you again to the people that are following. I don't have the alerts on, because mostly we do the podcast live, but if you miss our episode, you can find it on all podcasting services, iTunes, whatever, etc., Spotify, all that stuff. So you can always catch up with us on there, or on the Lucid Nebula YouTube, as well as the Mighty Vicious YouTube. So if you miss us, you don't really miss us. So and
we're everywhere.
And I'm going to put a little pressure on here. If you know Bad Robo, who just followed, if you know Bad Robo, try to help me force him onto the show. I have so many questions, and I'm willing to go through anything I have to go through to make you be on the show. It's not even a matter of if you want to anymore. I am determined
we just
to get
need
you
to know
here.
Your secrets.
We need to. I don't even need to know the secrets. I just need to be able to. I just need to be able to digitally bow at your feet, and I'll be happy. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I want to know how much Fermo each leaf costs. Oh dear.
Have him be a guest, but he talks in chat. Hey, I'll take whatever I can get. K-Mation, let me see. It's nice to know that there's a huge community I'm a part of, the Dreamiverse, named Seaman315, and this game is the reason why I can make my dream game project to Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda. Indeed. Hey. Do it. That's all there is to it. Just do it. Do it any way you can.
You have no excuse. Get it done.
So the MM Mod Squad. But yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, God, I really hope you're right about the Dreamiverse.
Look, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. You can see in our chat. Look how positive all these people are. Look how great all these people are, and these people are an example of what the entire Dreamiverse is like. You have nothing to worry about.
The early adopters, I'm not worried about. It's the new blood. It's like I said.
But like I said though, we're not going to see a massive increment of players unless something changes. If Dreams and Media Molecule continue to do what they're doing the way they are doing it, then we're going to see no massive change until these big massive games come out. And, they get into the hands of IGN and GameSpot and these sort of game publishing people, whatever you want to call them. Until things like that starting to happen, we're not going to see that massive increment of players. It's just not going to happen. I mean, Dreams has been out for, a year now?
Yeah.
Like, publicly. And we still haven't got hundreds of players coming in every day. I mean, I think the average is like 1,000 players, isn't it? I mean, that's probably on point with the people that play Dreams. Is 1,000 people are online at a time. At least when I check in Dreams.me, it's normally around the 1,000 mark.
Yeah,
and there is more players than that, obviously, but that's the constant amount that are on there on a continuous time. So until we see this massive increment of players, we're not going to have that worry of the community being poisoned, because it's so slow. And I think it's done intentionally. I really do. I think, like, after the discussions we've had today with, how things is working with Dreams, I think they have deliberately undermarketed Dreams and just have the core base players there to create the content. And then next year, when we have all these mainstream games being developed on Dreams that's like, 6 to 8 hours long and actual game-worthy playthroughs, then they'll start to market it more. So until we get to that point, we have nothing to worry about. And I do think that Media Molecule will have a solution for this as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they will. I hate to, like I said, I speak in extremes. Like, I have my worries. I'll end it on that. I'll end it on that. I just wonder how I'm going to react.
I just have full faith in Dreams and its community that it's just going to stay the way that it is. I've just never been part of something so strong and so lovely. And I'm just in my own bubble, and I'm just like, yeah, it's going to be fine.
Well, Bad Robo said, no, my spoken English is dramatic. I have that's quite a descriptor right there.
Yeah, I want to hear how dramatic it is now.
Yeah, that only entices me more. Stop playing with me, baby. That's stop.
Come on,
stop.
I need to know about these leaves.
Stop enticing
leave
me.
Information.
But yeah, man, if I'm not gonna for real, I'm not gonna pressure you. I am, but I'm not gonna pressure you. I really am. I want you to continue to think about it as time goes on, and maybe eventually you'll be like, you know what, I will be on the show. So this is the pebble that causes the ripple in the water that creates change. That's all this is. This is what this pressure is currently that you're feeling. And so, anyway, it's for the last topic.
Mm-hmm.
We're about a little under a month away from all the consoles coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's almost time.
It's almost time.
For those that pre-ordered.
Do you think they're going to have any outside of pre-order? Or do you think all PlayStations are gone?
No, I actually had a conversation. In the UK, we have an electronics store called PC World. I'm not sure if you have it in the US. I think it might be a UK company only. But they sell all electronics. So, washing machines, laptops, gaming accessories. They sort of do everything tech. And I spoke to them today and asked them if there would be actually any stock on release day. And they said, oh, yeah, we've got a bunch of stock ready to go. We just can't have it for pre-order anymore because PlayStation have stopped their pre-orders. So they said,
he lying. You know that man just trying to make sure you get in that store to create that hype.
Well, that's what they told me today, at least. So I'm taking it as it stands, and I'm going to be at the door on release day at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Are you going to be at the door, or are you going to be trying to slip under the door?
Whichever way I can get in there first. Whichever way.
Pay a guy to get in through the back rolling doors. He's going to come in with the shipment of PlayStation somehow.
I think everywhere is going to have stock. And I think they're just doing the whole Nintendo thing where they deliberately understock pre-orders to make a massive want for it. And, there was going to be a want for it anyway. I mean, let's be honest, it's the next console generation. There was always going to be hype and build for it, but it's just another way to build more hype. If you can't get something, it makes you want it more. And I think they needed to do that because of the current situation that we're in with COVID and stuff. They would have been worried about a lot of people not moving to next generation because of the cost. But if you make something unavailable, you naturally want it more. So if you go to the store and realize there is some PS5s on the shelf, you're not going to think about it twice. You're going to grab one because you'll be worried that you won't get one again because of all the stigma of them not being available. So that's what I think that they're up to.
All right. I just really feel like it's going to be barren out here.
Well, I'm not too bothered about it. I mean, like, we've waited this long. If I don't get one, as long as I get one in time for Christmas, I won't be too worried about it.
Sir,
Because,
you're what the hell? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So this guy, he's like, I'm not worried as long as I get it before Christmas. That's just it. You won't if what I'm asking is real. Yeah, it's done. Like, because I feel like they already, like, day one, as someone put out earlier, they already are at the point where in the first 24 hours of PS5 being up for pre-order, they sold more than the first 12 weeks of PS4.
Yeah, but I think they expected that.
There's no way that number is correct, and they still have boxes that are going to be on shelves. There is no way. No way.
We'll have to find out on release day.
Bro,
But
if you go, Jamie gonna be out here. Jamie gonna be out here chasing crackheads with the stolen PS5 down the street. That's what's really gonna be happening. He's like, oh man, I just. I'm
a glass half full kind of guy. Okay. Yeah. I think there'll be stock. There should be. I mean, they'd be crazy not to have stock ready for release day. Surely.
It's not that they didn't want to have stock, but if that number is correct and you sold more in 24 hours than you did in 12 weeks of the previous gen, that's insane considering how much PlayStation 4 sold.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think if they saw that number, they'd be like, okay, let's up production. I don't care. Like, if you was the director of Sony, you'd be like, I don't care how it's done. Get more consoles made 24/7 because they're going to sell like crazy.
You can want anything you want, but people are getting cancellations to their pre-orders. And then stores are talking about there's going to be a last stage of pre-orders. I don't feel like they'd be pressing that if there was going to be, now mind you, I'm hoping you're right. Because I need a new PlayStation before my PS4 blows up and takes me with it. So, I need a PlayStation. But I'm just saying, like, real talk. I hope you're right, but I can't see a way that those reported numbers are correct, and people are getting their cancellations.
It's a bold number. It's very bold number.
Yeah, like it. Because that's guaranteed money. And I feel like a store is going to take guaranteed money over a maybe. Like, maybe someone will come. Like, of course, it's a slight maybe, because of course someone's going to buy it out of the store. But if you could make sure someone buys it, your stock, you're going to do it. So I just feel like just like they went early with the release, they're going to also try to go early with things that aren't supposed to be pre-ordered. So, I don't know. Get back to dreams. Back to dreams. Pixel Tuner, what is for those that have not seen, because I always tout out people whenever I see them here. Pixel Tuner is working on a few different things, but if you haven't seen the Monkey Island thing that he's working on, was like a remake of the game, and the facial animations that he's been able to pull off for that game. My God, check out Pixel Tuner when you get a chance, because
I have yet to see that. I will have to check that out after.
Man, I immediately started to disrupt his work by trying to ask questions like, man, but how you do that though? Like, it's awesome. Check him out. Okay, it's fantastic stuff. So. There, as Saku, thank you. Because for those that also don't know, OTMB Eddie is all about connecting people to people. So if you're looking for like projects or something that you're trying to find somebody, he could always give you a heads up as to who does what. And he's also a fantastic sculptor as well as dealing with logic. OTMB Eddie. We just call him Eddie. We just call him Eddie. But yeah, check him out. Follow him as well on social medias, and go ahead.
He's also one of the head sculptors of our project as well. He works with us on Lucid Nebula Studios.
Yeah, just fantastic dude. So Mighty laying on all the sugar. I don't have to, baby. I don't have it when I got this silky voice. When I can put them on them. So anyway, I think we are done for the day unless you have. So I thought you had one more thing you would mention that you wanted to talk about. I can't remember. I'd have to go search through Discord to find it.
I don't recall. Topic.
You don't recall, you say. Instant salt. What?
I'm just going through our chat now. Our chat just goes forever. It's just so much stuff that we talk about. Let's have a look.
Well, until then, I'll give you a few seconds, and if we don't get it, we're going to go ahead, head to our closeout. Thank you, everyone who joined, everyone who followed, and I can even see from my phone that I've gotten some people on Twitter. Welcome. I really hope to see you guys again, especially as we get more guests, speak more about dreams, and dreams evolves. So until next time. Also, can you throw the Discord in there? It should be in the socials, which I did post, but yeah, throw the Discord link in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and send everybody. Once we go through our outro, gonna send you all over to Mr. Wooshie, because if you don't know Wooshie, there's another person that really helped me out when I first got into dreams. And he deserves to have more people at this moment because he's doing some great things.
And don't forget to follow all the Lucid Nebula channels. We are on Twitter. We have a website as well that you can follow all our news and stuff on. But we're very active on Twitter. So give us a follow there, and we'll keep everyone up to date with all the progress on Dino.
Yes, we will definitely keep you up to date. So with that, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next Friday at 3 p.m. EST, which is also what now? What now for? So we get this right.
So we've gone back an hour. So if it's 3 p.m. EST, then it's 7 p.m. BST.
Oh, Kooky and Cloud just came in. Hello, guys. I'm sorry we're about to end the podcast, but join us next Friday at 3 p.m.
Bye, everybody.
6. So catch you all later. Thank you again. Appreciate you all.